July 18th, 2022 Common Council meeting to order. It is 6 p.m. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, and we will begin that with Councilwoman West.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk Treasurer Parthune, roll call.
Councilwoman West.
Here.
Councilwoman Konechny.
Present.
Councilman Frankie.
Here.
Councilman Ficus.
Present.
Councilman Vincent.
Here.
Councilman Galloway.
Here.
Councilwoman Cutler.
Present.
All present.
Approval of minutes. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve the minutes is presented. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Petitions and comments of the citizens. We have two individuals. Sierra Sujesh, please move forward and state your name and address for the record, and remind everybody that we have a 3-minute timeline, no personal attacks, and no repetitive conversation, please, if possible.
You could turn it off.
Okay, my name is Sierra Sue Jesh, and I live on Jefferson Avenue in the low-income triangle. When the mayor talks on the radio, it sounds like he's putting us down. I mean, you need to remember that women were always paid at a lower pay level. Even the unions, 40, 50 years, 60 years ago, they discriminated against the women. You only got the lower two rungs of the pay ladder, and the men got everything else. Even as short as 15 years ago, we didn't have high-paying jobs like we do now. A couple years ago, we had a matching grant so that homeowners could get insulated windows and doors for their homes at a 90-10 grant. But the mayor killed it. It cost too much. But how much more is it costing me this winter and this summer with the 90-degree weather every other day or every day to pay NIPSCO when they're raising their rates? How about the city giving us a helping hand? Bring back the grants so that we can use our own money and put it with your money to upgrade our homes. We need help. We need a helping hand, not a put down. And we don't want charity. Thank you.
Stay here for a minute, Sue. First of all, I've never put down, in fact, we have talked about the ARP funds being the #1 priority for Maple, Jefferson, and Harrison Avenue that we're addressing with housing. We're not going to accept the crappy living that went on here at 701 Maple that you were part of ignoring, and we are going to address not only, if I may finish, all these areas that you fought on, and we're going to have people living, first of all, in acceptable, respectful living, and not ignore that like it's, if I can finish, like we've ignored for too many years. And that's where the #1 priority is. #2, I've never put down, I've made that as a priority. I understand there's struggles with the candy machine or the pop machine that you weren't pleased with, but people will never have to be engaged in living conditions like that and have landlords like that. So I assure you, #1, don't say it's ever been a put down, because that's not correct, and you know that. We are going to upgrade and use the dollars to do so. Also, our program that Mary Jane, or not Mary Jane, but Mary Ann Richards still working, is putting together from lead, addressing lead along Civic into that area and to help low income. So please, you know as well as anybody, we've been focusing on low income and have continued to do that.
Okay, I lived at 701 Maple Avenue. I lived there when Tarnals owned it. They're both passed away. And I lived there for a while afterward when the next owner had it. Tarnals upgraded that building. They did things to improve it. Yes, the last owner was not as diligent, but Today, I could not live in that apartment building. The rent is too high, I can't afford it. I own my own house, fortunately. And I've put thousands and thousands of dollars into it. I've done $10,000 plus in electric. The sewer line, I fixed it. And that. So I can't afford the rent in some of these places. But you did kill the grant for the windows and doors. Now, how much would that have helped me?
Sue?
'Cause I would have put $1,000 down, and they would have made $9,000, and I could have had insulated windows and a door that was secure. My doors aren't secure. You know, somebody that knows what they're doing, they could knock it down, knock them in. The police wouldn't need to have the battering ram if they were coming in, which they don't come in anyway, because I don't do anything. But, you know, yeah, some of this stuff is nice. And that thing that Mary Ann does, they're going to tell you, well, you need to have this and that and this and that, because my son, youngest son, did it. And then they tell you, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, you got to stay there for 7 years or that. Who knows at 77 if I'm going to be alive in 7 years? I can put down $1,000 and you're $9,000 and get at least most of my windows replaced and have a warmer, cooler house as needed and be able to afford to stay there.
So Sue, may I ask, when we approved the homeowner last meeting alone,
Yeah, at the last meeting, we did an additional appropriation resolution for the homeowner repair program for $135,337.41. And I do believe if you don't stay in the home for 7 years, it's a prorated.
I know what it
Okay,
is. My
okay,
son, like I said, my youngest son is living under it.
Okay.
So I know that. But why, they're going to tell me, oh, you need to have this. I saw what they did to him. I just replaced my own hot water heater. I don't need it. I paid the $600 and some. My boys just replaced it last week. I've insulated my attic. I have already put in, like I said, I upgraded electric. The electric never would have passed when I bought it. So why am I going to play around with some of this other stuff when a matching grant, and that tells everybody, I'm willing to put my own money in to go with your money. So I got skin in the game, not just sitting back waiting for a handout. I want a hand up. Thank you.
and Sue, I think that's why with $225,000, you got to state the facts. And we're going to continue to help the low income and not ignore. But you got to be willing to do your part here and make it available like we always have available for grants. But to say we don't offer that program is absolutely incorrect. And
You yourself told me you don't offer it anymore.
If you want-
Too much.
Excuse me, Mayor, could I just make a comment? I do know that each year, part of our Urban Enterprise Association budget is also allocated toward residential grants. We've helped a tremendous amount of homes. I don't know your exact address, but we could look at the map and see if you fall within the zone.
I live in there because
Sue, if you could come to the microphone.
it's part of the urban enterprise zone.
Sue, if you could come to the microphone if you want to speak, please.
When I lived at 701, I was part of the urban enterprise
No,
zone.
I'm not talking about where you did live, where you live now. Have you
I
checked
live
the
in the
map?
urban enterprise zone now.
Okay. Each year, we allocate a certain amount of money. Now, off the top of my head, I don't know if those funds have been exhausted for this year. Each November, we have a new fund, and we have been allocating 50/50 grants for multiple items within the zone. I know that Mary Ann Richards, of course, oversees that as well, and it's possible that there is grant money still and a 50/50 still available. I can't guarantee, but I know that each year we allocate funds for the zone. So that may help you sooner rather than later. If you want,
So I need to contact Mary Ann again?
you could contact Mary Ann or the next meeting of the UEA. Let's see, they're not meeting in July, it'll be August, yeah.
Did the minutes.
Oh, you did?
August
August
14th.
10th, I know, I think it's the 17th. I think it's the 17th. It's the third, it'll be the third Wednesday of the month. There
What
was
time?
no,
Because I work on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
it's at the LEAP offices at 4
August
o'clock.
17th.
Do you know where the LEAP offices are? They're over by Ogles.
right next to Ogles, I think. Right, Rick? The new LEAP office is right
On
next to you?
Michigan Ave, yes.
Okay, on Michigan
I
Avenue.
know Michigan Ave.
Yeah. But, and I will be there, and I will double-check into it, too. Actually, I'll just look it up tonight or tomorrow, too, and see what I can find out. But Mary Ann Richards knows for sure. She could pull it right up on her computer and let you know if there's any funds left for,
Before, I was just told I had to go for this other thing, and
okay.
I'm not playing jumping through these hoops, and like I said, who knows if I'll be alive in 7 years, and I don't want everything all tied up like you are in that, because I know what my son's going through.
Okay.
Well, we're committed again. That's why we've started with these 3 areas that have been ignored, and we're going to continue to make sure people have respectful living.
I got a nice house, but I need new windows. Wind comes through. They're still the single pane glass.
With the 50/50 UEA, they allow windows. For businesses downtown, we have business grants for 50/50 for windows as well as residential, okay? Okay.
Okay.
How about after the meeting? I'll get your number, okay?
And for
I'll be
Mary,
here.
and for Mary Ann's dollars, I mean, there are federal regulations that follow, so they set the rules, we follow the rules.
Washington DC does not know what we need in LaPorte, Indiana. They don't even know where we're at.
Well, then call and tell
You
them
have
not
it?
to give us the money. That's the choice,
Mm-hmm.
because they have regulation that we use for these funds for.
I mean, Mary Ann had to take out a brand-new window out of his house.
Okay, I-
Because they said, well, you gotta have bathroom windows or frosted. The thing was up this high.
So,
Nobody could have seen it in the first place, but
but the regulations we will follow.
that's, they're putting regulations in we don't need. Let's just I wanna keep it simple, stupid. I'll put my money in and you put your money in and we'll get just windows and free.
But to Mary Ann, there are going to be regulations required.
I know, that's why I don't wanna go that route, because they're gonna find stuff that doesn't even apply or need to be done.
Thank you. Robert, if you could come forward, state your name and address for the record.
My name is Robert Chihoin. It's spelled C-I-C-H-O-N. I live at 3516 West Small Court in LaPorte. I thank you in advance for your attention, and please pay close attention to what I'm about to say. I read in the Herald Dispatch that in the coming meeting, you want to annex some property by the airport that's county property, and you want to change the zoning from M1 to AP. This has been going on where you annex and change at the same time for a while, and it is both repugnant legally and ordinarily. You're acting as if your ordinance, which is the 2017 ordinance, zoning ordinance of the city of LaPorte, says that when you annex property from the county, you can change the zoning at the same time. It does not say that. In fact, it says just the opposite. Now, this is 0205. It says that where land within the county is annexed to one of the cities, it shall retain its existing zoning until such time as the city seeks to takes action to rezone the land to a different district, okay? So, at the end of this zoning ordinance, there's a glossary, and shall is part of the glossary, and shall means mandatory, must. So to reread it, it says that when you annex land from the county to the city, it must retain its zoning designation. Okay? What does retain mean? Retain means to keep it the same. You're changing it. That's just the opposite of retaining. Okay? You must retain it. Then it goes on to say that until the city takes action to rezone it. So the people that drafted this and ultimately passed it, the council, they decided that you annex it as it existing, and then you can change it just like any other ordinary property within the city. And what do? You go to the Plan Commission, you give your proposal, they have hearings. And one of the things that is required by the Plan Commission is that existing property owners be notified of this zoning change. Now, I know one instance where that did not happen. So, until, all right, so I don't know if you find somehow until is some kind of wiggle room. What does until mean? Well, something happens and then something else happens. And as an example, I learned the meaning of the word until before I ever went to kindergarten. My parents said, you cannot have dessert until you eat your vegetables. I didn't have dessert and vegetables on my plate at the same time. I mean, this is plain as day. So, I'm sorry I'm over. But you city council members are responsible for this. Ultimately, you're the ones. Are you going to do what this ordinance compels you to do, or will you ignore it?
Thank you.
And I'd love to know your answers right now, but that's not how this works.
Thank you for your time. Robert? Comments from the council?
I mean, I think it's a good point, but I'd want to consult with the city attorney who would know the law better than I would.
And we will confirm that with the attorney. And again, remember, for the council's perspective, this is airport land that they own, and they want to be annexed into the
I was
city.
just going to say that, to be honest, it's not us wanting
It's
them, they want
voluntary, yes.
us to. Okay.
We will move to standing committee reports. Council President Frankie.
The school board met last week, and a $7 million project to build a new bus garage was approved, which will take place on Boyd Boulevard with the land that we swapped with them last year. Some HVAC work was approved for Critchfield and Kingsford Heights Elementary. And LaPorte High School will be getting new tables and chairs in their cafeteria, which is unfortunate because I think I may still have some gum stuck under theirs from when I was in high school. The Redevelopment Commission meets on July 27th, 5:15 here in council chambers, and the Diversity and Inclusion Committee will meet the 28th, 5 p.m. here in council chambers as well.
Councilwoman Ficus.
The only thing I have to report is that Park Board will be meeting this Wednesday, July 20th, 4 p.m. at the Park office.
Councilman Vincent.
Nothing to add this evening.
Councilman Galloway.
Police Merit Commission met on the 12th, and the generator's still not up and running. They're waiting on parts. And officers, get this right, Tristan Cager and Taylor Atkinson are up for awards for the way they handled that suicide in round-the-clock parking lot. And let's see here. We got August 8th, and the academy's going to start. We got 4 people going down, and we have one going down the psych. It's a lady, so that'll put them up close to where they ought to be. Now, the VFW Saturday has a breakfast from 7 to 10 a.m. And August 6th, they got a rib cook-off, and we're going to sell ribs till 3 o'clock, and then we're going to have the 85th anniversary birthday party for the Post.
Is that this Saturday?
No, that's not till August the 6th. This Saturday is the pancake breakfast because we got a big brownie poker run,
What time is the breakfast?
7 to 10. And you were not invited to be a judge this year at the rib cook-off. You ate too many.
Is that all from Councilman Galloway?
That's enough.
Councilwoman Cutler.
Just a reminder that the UEA will not be meeting this month, and I believe next month it is August 17th, but I'll have to double check and confirm on the August 1st meeting.
And can I give Laura Cutler and the team just thanks about fixing up the downtown? The pavers are being repaired. They're looking great. So thank you for helping lead and setting a standard for that.
You bid board.
And the UEA board, but you've
And the
been
UEA,
involved.
yes. Mhm.
So thank you. Councilwoman West.
The Plan Commission met last week and approved a favorable recommendation on the preliminary and final plat to the Board of Public Works and Safety on the Timma's Bakery, where there's going to be a re-subdivision into 5 lots. And the Fire Merit Commission will meet on August 3rd at 6:30.
And we're excited about that affordable housing as well, so.
Absolutely.
Councilwoman Konechny.
The HPC will meet tomorrow, Tuesday, July 19th at 5:30 here in council chambers. And the Airport Authority. The airfair will be held on August 6th and 7th, not to compete with the rib cook-off, but this event will run from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. each day. There will be a B-13 Valiant on display, as well as a PT-26A Cornell and a Beech SNB C-45. Rides will be available to purchase for both the PT-26A and C-45. Also featured at the airfair will be aviation career booths, antique car displays, the LaPorte County Library mobile classroom, craft vendors, food trucks, Kona Ice, and much more. Don't forget to attend the pancake breakfast, not this Saturday, but attend this Saturday's. But this one will be on Sunday, August 7th from 7 a.m. until noon. 96.7 The Eagle will be broadcasting on Saturday, and Rock 106.5 will be present on Sunday. Please visit laporteairport.com for more details. The next Airport Authority meeting will be on Wednesday, August 10th at 5:15 at the airport.
Perfect. And the breakfast will only be on Sunday.
Only on Sunday.
Councilwoman Ficus, second reading.
Your Honor, I move to read an ordinance for the second and final time by title only.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor, state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Councilwoman Ficus.
An ordinance amending ordinance number 24-2021, ordinance number 1-2022, ordinance number 4-2022, ordinance number 5-2022, and ordinance number 8-2022 to amend salaries in the Transport Department, Urban Tree Canopy Grant, and Police Department. End of ordinance.
Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second. I have a motion and a second, and this basically, Courtney
I'm
Barthune.
just going to read the minutes from last time. Chief Breton summed up that the police department thought they needed a full-time administrative assistant. They want to split it again with the street because that's just, they're doing a good job there. Transport, the dispatcher can take on more responsibilities, so that position is being changed to assistant director. The manager will change to a director position. The only monetary change is the dispatcher to the assistant director position. And then Mike Fraze reported at the last meeting that 4 part-time positions will be changed into 2 full-time positions for the urban, that will be paid from the Urban Tree Canopy Grant.
And we're encouraging anybody that'd like to work in that capacity, we'd love to hire. So with that, we do have a motion and a second. Is there anybody from the public that would like to speak on this ordinance? Anybody in the public? Sue? No?
Rick, you need
Anybody
a job?
else?
You need a job? We need a couple more people. Yeah.
All right, hearing none, discussion with the council. Any thoughts? Hearing none. I do have a motion and a second. All in favor, state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you for your time this evening.